Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a chorizo stuffed poblano pepper. And I have a few peppers that I've grown in my garden. And we are going to put these in the oven. I put them on broil, alright? And I did that for probably about, I didn't look at the time, but I think it was around 25 minutes or so. I wasn't sure how long I needed to cook these because my recipe comes from my dear friend Kelsey, and her name is maniac_mommy on Twitter. And she did hers on the grill, and I did not want, it was so hot outside, so I just decided to do these in the house. So I just took my peppers, put them in a bowl, covered them with a plate just to let those steam a little more because we're going to take the skin off of those. I have my 2 ears of corn. And we are just going to take a knife and just cut all the corn off of those because we're going to use this corn in our mixture with our chorizo and our stuffing that goes into the peppers. I'm using my Ninja Foodie to saute this. I used one of those, I think it's like an 8-ounce roll of the beef chorizo. And by the time I squished it into a cup to measure it out, because the recipe takes 1 cup, it was literally almost the whole roll. So we're just going to cook that down. And I think I had that in there for maybe about, that's on medium high. I had it in for about 5 minutes. And to my recollection, I don't think that I've ever made chorizo or cooked it before in anything. So I just Googled it, and it said to cook for like 5 to 6 minutes on medium high. And it just starts getting kind of melty and kind of separating. So I'm pretty sure it was done. But to that, we're going to add 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and I use just plain breadcrumbs. And you just want to stir that around, and it will, all the breadcrumbs will absorb all of the oil that's coming off of that's in the chorizo. And just get that combined really well. And then we want to add our corn into this. And I had an 8-ounce block of Monterey Jack cheese. And that makes about 2 cups of cheese, grated. So we'll put half in this mixture, and we will save the other half to put on top of our peppers once we put those in the oven. But just get it stirred up really good. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to heat it hot and melt the cheese, or if I was just to add it and it would melt when I put them in the oven. But I just did it this way. They turned out really good. I wasn't quite sure. This is the first time I've ever made this, and it was very different for me because I was using ingredients that I don't normally use. So I'll just put that in a bowl and just set that to the side. And we'll use that to stuff our peppers. But the mixture tastes really good. I don't know if there's a big flavor difference between beef chorizo and the pork chorizo, but I'm glad I went with the beef one. So our peppers have been sitting, they've been steaming, and I have never in my life peeled a pepper, a poblano like this. And I felt like I was dealing with little squid or something because they're very slippery. And you just want to take the thin kind of clear outer coating off of the pepper. So it's a very tedious process to do this. But I didn't wear my gloves because the peppers aren't hot. So, you don't have to worry about burning your hands like if I was dealing with jalapenos or any other hotter pepper. But just take your time and just peel the skins off. They come off pretty easy if you have them cooked long enough like this. And you see they're just flat and they're slick, very slick. But I was like laughing at myself the whole time I was doing this. I was like, Kelsey's probably watching me do these peppers and she's thinking, goodness. But I love to try recipes from other people that I've never made before, even though I feel like I'm doing it wrong sometimes, because I do kind of all the southern type cooking. But just keep peeling it, and it took me probably about 7 or 8 minutes to peel all of these. And you see it'll come off in big sheets like that. And then what we're going to do is, well, you don't even really need a knife, but I used a knife, and you just want to make a little slit in the pepper and kind of scrape out the seeds. And the peppers are very, very delicate, so you have to be careful not to just shred them apart. I had a few rips in my peppers from where I was peeling them, but they were fine because we're gonna put those in a little vessel here to keep the shape and keep all of the filling inside of them. But you could probably leave the seeds in as well. I don't think they're hot, but I made these little uh, I'd call them little tin foil, aluminum foil kind of boats, she said, because she was cooking hers on the grill. But I thought, with the texture of these peppers, these are great for the oven also. So I've never made a little foil boat like this. So I just did the best I could, and you just want to have a place to lay those peppers in to keep their shape. So just lay them in. You don't have to spray the foil or anything. But I can tell you, by the time that I made 4 or 5 of these little canoes, I felt like an origami pro. I thought I was doing a great I was doing a great job. And I had a pan out that I sprayed, but it was just too small. These peppers, you need to keep you need room to stuff these peppers, so you need a pretty long dish to line them up. And I think the recipe called for 6 large poblanos, and I only had 4 large ones and then a small one. So, but that stuffing was fine for this amount. I mean, you could just put probably a little more or a little less in them if you have a couple more peppers or 1 or 2 less. So you just want to get a big spoon and just start shoveling that shoveling that mixture in. And it seemed like my mixture was dry. I wasn't sure of how exactly the texture was supposed to be because I've never made them. But when you taste it, it's really good. But I wasn't sure, if it was supposed to be more moist or not. But, with the cheese, I guess I didn't let the cheese melt in there when it was in my Ninja Foodie. So that's probably why. But the stuffing tasted delicious though. But they look good, don't they? I'm actually proud of myself for stepping outside of my box, making these peppers. And just take the leftover cup of cheese you have and just put that on the top. And I think I had my oven on 400. Yeah, I set it on 400 and I cooked these for probably around, I'd say 12 minutes or so. Just till I got the cheese. Yeah, I cooked them for about 12 minutes to let the cheese melt, and then for about an additional 2 minutes, I turned it on broil. So I let my peppers cool down just a little bit because they're hot. They're really, really hot. But the cheese with the chorizo and the pepper is really good together. I was surprised I liked these so much because I'm not a big fan of stuffed bell peppers. because I don't like the taste, the bitter taste of them. But the poblanos, they seem almost like sweet. They're like the perfect pepper. But I love these, and I appreciate Kelsey sending me this recipe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've ever tried these or ever made them, let me know in the comments what you think of them. But I'm going to put Kelsey's channel, Good For You Gourmet, on YouTube in my description box, and her Twitter name, and her blog link. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video.